Hey folks, welcome back. It's the big barn build. Blue skies, feels a little bit spring-like, but we're going to take a little jump back to autumn and I'm going to show you how we started our lawn project. I know we don't have a house yet, but you know, thinking ahead. Stick around, let's make a start. Today I'm taking something that really shouldn't be done for a long time and jumping it to the top of the pile because the sun's out. As a lot of you will have had over the past few weeks, it has just been absolutely miserable. We've had flooding nearly every blooming week this month and last month. All the livestock are pretty grumpy, everyone's up on the paddock or the hill field, but today the sun's out and it kind of made me realise that we are very close to it being too late to get anything down on this lawn, if we can call it that. I dug out the trench ready for drainage, but I can't really do the drainage right now, so we'll have to deal with this pile later. All this is all pretty much ready to go. There was a little low spot, I've just kind of played around with that. I've just raked the surface. I'll top dress this and do this properly in 2-3 years time. Anyway, sooner we get some grass seed down, the sooner the whole thing becomes more stable. And we've got some bits to try out. Now everyone's seen this in the videos where we've been smoothing the sand and it worked amazing for that, but it's actually for this sort of thing. It's for a lawn loop, it's for leveling the lawn. So we'll put this over it, although we've kind of done it with a pallet already. We'll try this. It's stony stuff. Well, it's no bowling green, but it has helped, knocked off more the high spots than anything. It's quite wet ground now. It's also quite good at picking up stones. It knocks them up to the surface, so we can lose those. But, you know, in time we'll probably put another 50-60 mil of soil on top of this, some screen stuff. So the next job is to go and find some homebrew compost. Don't swing shut, don't swing shut. Once I've done this job, I'm going to see if I can get in the pig pen. I'll let them out for a bit, see if I can get in the pig pen and sort out their pen and spread out some hardcore because it is not good in there. Okay. Why don't I trust you three amigos? I'm gonna have to. I can't afford for him to get in with the lambs. I mean, I know this is fairly extreme in terms of lawn installations. One wrong knock and take the thing off the hinges. Alright, let's see if this compost has lived up to what I'm expecting. So look at this, if you don't watch the farm channel, well, you're not missing much because we haven't put a video up lately. But this is the herbal ley. We tore out all the grass that was here that was old, tired and compacted, and we sowed this herbal ley, and look at that. I mean, it is luscious, it's like salad. It's even taller at the top. Right, here we go. So I'm hoping that actually, once it's loosened up with the digger, look at that. That is black gold. I only want to do one of these loads, so I'm going to pile it high. Oh, unfortunately that is not the product I was looking for. It is great stuff, and no doubt that is super fertile. It's not too hot, you know, it's done its composting, but it's so clumpy because of all this rain. It's not going to go in that sifter. So we've got two options. We could spread it out, let it dry, and work it in by hand, or we tip it out and hope it dries out if it's spread out a bit more, or we just sow straight into that up there and then top dress it with this maybe over the winter. I think while we can, let's get this out, then I can shut the gate. I'm going to let the pigs out and get in there with a digger. Look at it in there, guys. Do you want to come out? Do you want to have a bit of grass? I haven't got any food. Look at the size of him. That's Jack. He's here on holiday with his three ladies. And yes, overhead power lines. Look up, look out. I'm just going to scrape and tidy up here. There's no digging. Right, with the compost kind of up, it might dry, it might work in the spreader if we fork it up a little bit, but we may as well crack this out. Are you ready to have a go on this?
What is it?
Well, funny you should ask. You fill it with compost, and then you're just going to go up and down, and it should spread out compost. There's hardly anything to assemble, and look, you can put it on short mode for you. Kid mode. You can be halfway mode.
I'll hold it so it doesn't fall down.
Okay. Right. You holding it up?
Yes, I'm holding it up.
And then you just walk and it'll distribute it out. Time to get some seed down. I've decided against putting too much of the compost down. I gave it a couple of runs, but it's just a bit clumpy. So the priority is making the most of this warm weather, get the seed established, and then we can top dress this maybe over the latter part of autumn once the grass is up. Otherwise we'll do it in the spring. Right, that's 5 kilo in the spreader. I've got a little trolley one, and I've got, you know, a proper lawn one, but I use this around the farm. It's really good. I've done acres with it now, and I don't know, I can't remember how much it cost. I bought it when we first moved here. You basically wear it like a bagpipe. It's got finger control here. You can preset it to the size opening you want. It's kind of on a grass seed setting now, and then and you spin away, and it's got a good fan. It's not an exact science in here, so let's get this down. So 5 kilo. We probably want to use, I've got 3 bags, probably want to use getting on for the 2 bags total. Obviously I've still got that trench to backfill. The lawn goes across to where that Harris fencing is over there, so there's another 3 metre strip, which accounts for nearly another half bag. So I'll use up what I've got here going the other way. Well, it might just be pigeon food. We'll see how well it does. I'll see if I can roll this in a bit. Right, we're a few months on from whenever we did this, October, November time, and fortunately the grass just about took before the winter really set in. It was a bit late getting it down, but you know, it was just subsoil we were dealing with, quite sandy, stony, and it is what it is. But what it meant is that all of this didn't wash away. So I think whatever it was, even if the root system was only a couple of inches, it was enough to help. What I've started doing is muck spreading. It's all getting a bit agricultural. That big pile of muck that I brought up, well, it's not muck, it's really good compost now. I've just started to throw over. So the little bit I dumped on here ended up far more green and luscious than over there. That said, our ha-ha, or our kind of sloped infinity lawn, still needs a little bit of head scratching. So some of you might remember me talking about the ha-ha plan. So that's what's on our kind of landscaping plan, which is to bring this around as a wall. But which is when you've got the lawn coming up level to it and it drops down for a ditch. So that means you don't have to have any fence between livestock and the garden, which would be lovely. But it's also quite a big fall risk, and by the time it gets around there, that wall would be kind of 6 foot, and I'm not quite sure I trust my kids enough to have that at the edge of the lawn. So what we're going to do is just keep working at the idea of this steep bank, and I can already tell that stuff's going to take on this fine. I just threw a bit of extra seed on here and it's taken. Again, it needs a load of de-stoning and stuff, and there's one kind of gorge, we've got a cheddar gorge going on here, because before the grass took heavy rain back in September, kind of funneled down and carved out this. That won't happen as much once the grass is taken. But what I'm hoping to do is, once we've got a bit more soil on here and we smooth things out, I'm tempted to look at getting some of that reinforcing sort of Hessian, I don't know what it's made from, almost like a mesh, a sisal rope, which you peg in or pin in, and that'll kind of stabilise things, and it's just natural. And I guess by the time it's stabilised, that decomposes over a few years. If anyone's got any other ideas, then let me know, but I don't think it's going to be a problem. People aren't going to be going up and down this, I say. Kids might. Right, Operation Landscaping is continuing as soon as the sun comes out. So, we changed the shape a little bit back to how I wanted it. Before it was just a big arc. We've used the hose, we used the drone, and we kind of mapped it out. We've got some stakes in there now. So that we're kind of putting a bit of an S in, so it comes back round and back into where the gate is, because that's the original, on the original boundary line. But there's quite a big hump here, and what we want to do is sink that fence. So this is simulating the height of the stock fence, about this height. So you can see those posts over there, all of it ends up hidden below the level of the lawn. So that's the idea. We're just going to remove this down a little bit, get the dumper going, and hopefully get it seeded while it's warm. Right, I need to get back on topic, because that was a segue that never needed to happen. But to give you an idea of timelines, this was October, I think, when we were doing a bit of work on the lawn. I finally found all those files, put this video together. We are now 21st of March, probably the day I put this video up. So we're only a matter of kind of 10 days off these windows going in. So I need to be thinking about that more than the lawn. But we'll finish this video and then we'll get back on interior work next week. I consider myself to be okay with the digger now, but there's only so much you can do. So just had a good dig and a rake, and actually that is an awesome bit of kit for this. Even I thought it would only work really on flat lawns, but actually getting this contour really even, I think that's 1.2 meters wide. You can just really kind of sculpt it, which is quite cool. You probably can't tell actually on the camera, it's a bit flat light today, but this is how we're looking. So I've just gone along and chipped the edge with a spade just so it's a bit more of a sharp edge. Tempted to make up a bit of a jig, like a template with some batten with a kind of set angle, so we can lie a piece, you know, basically a triangle, just so that this slope is kind of the same angle all the way around. Not that it matters too much. I think actually this steepness is probably better. It's a bit too steep over there, which is just going to erode away, but I think for sedum or wildflower or whatever we decide to put on there, it should hold just fine. I'm going to put some of the good topsoil back down, so I've kept some of it separate over the other side. I think we're at a point now where the vast majority of the fence is going to be underneath or level, if not lower than lawn height. And over time, I'll be building this lawn up with some good topsoil, which I think I've now got, and we'll just get those levels right. It doesn't have to be bang flat. In actual fact, we don't want it to be nice and flat, or we want it flat but not level. But I'm not going to spend any more time on the top part until that grass is really taken off and I've got that drainage in and backfilled. So I think it's the right time of year to be doing this, but I need to concentrate on other things far more important than a slopey lawn. I'm going to lose the hose pipe before I put a spade through it. I think let's move it, might be easier to see then. That's about right. I might put a bit of an edge, again we're getting carried away, but I might put some edging on the end of the grass section of the lawn. I'll probably hold off a little bit just until we've got the levels up close to where we want, but I mean steel lawn edging is stupidly overpriced, so I think I'll just get some flat bar, maybe, I don't know, 150 by 3mm, something that I can bend gradually to get these curves, weld a load of kind of spikes on it and just knock it in, and I think then we'll end up with a little bit more of a retaining edge. I don't want it to look too sharp. I don't want to like the edge of a holing on the putting green. It doesn't have to be like that, but it just needs to be that the edge doesn't, you know, break every time you stand right on the edge of it. I don't know, it's an experiment. It's all an experiment. It's all good. So we will come back to the lawn maybe in a few weeks time, and I'll use that drum compost spreader, topsoil spreader, to see how we get on with that, because I didn't really get a chance to use it in this video. That lawn loop has worked wonders. If you've got any questions on garden plans, then let me know. There is a whole section, a whole year of building and projects around the garden, not this part of the garden but the walled garden, which can only happen years from now when we're living in there and the cabin is gone. So we will share some more plans on that, because it involves all sorts of fun stuff: timber frame greenhouses, loads of brickwork, arches. I mean, we just got carried away trying to think of a use for that space. There's no budget for it, there's no time, but it's exciting to think about, and we will share it. But we'll leave it there. Thanks for watching. Remember, if you can, do it yourself, and we'll see you next time.